Hello and welcome back to the fourth episode of my Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers for the N64 playthrough. That was a mouthful. Last time we had run into Fu Chin. I don't even remember. All I remember is from the show he was Fu Lan Chi. We basically ran into him. He told us that the snow ghost had been stealing from the little Tibetan temple and gave us a key. Well, today we get to find out what's in this little house here. Well, it's a skiing minigame with a lot of texture issues. Now use left and right to turn left and right. I can't really tell if there's a way to speed up and slow down. It really doesn't matter. If you run into things, your health goes down, but there's like Scooby snacks every few seconds, so unless you're terrible, it isn't going to be all that bad. Skiing is a big part of the TV show episode, That Snow Ghost. However, they really never use it as just a means to get from point A to point B. It's usually due to the fact that they're running from the Snow Ghost. And this goes on for a little longer than it needs to, especially due to a fact that you'll see coming up here very shortly. Now we have to run all the way over to where the gang are hanging out inside the lodge and give them all the items. We've actually collected every single item that we're going to need. Well, I take that back, because we still have the upstairs to check out. We do tell them about Fu Chin Lee, that's the name. And more or less just tell them about the Snow Ghost taking treasure. And I don't know how it's making sense, but it should have already made a lot of sense when they saw Mr. Leech. And we won't hand them... Scooby, get out of my way. We won't hand him anything right now, because we still have the upstairs to check out, since we have that key. And there's a staircase. And time to run the gauntlet of bees and spiders and bats. And pick up the shovel. There we go. And pick up this book on Tibetan lore. Looks like someone's been doing some research on that freaky snow ghost. Now, this differs from the show in quite a few ways, as Mr. Greenway hears about the story of the snow ghost while from Mr. Fu Lan Chi. Here apparently I entered the wrong door. Here, they basically give it as he knows about the Tibetan temple from the book, so I guess we're in Tibet for this episode? And we more or less just hand the gang all the items. I'm going to speed through this as quickly as possible. There was the pause menu. That's it. Now, for the trap, which is also incredibly different. Here, more or less, we just dig a hole with a shovel, put a white sheet over it, and use a corset to catch Shaggy and Scooby. And this is why the skiing minigame from just a few seconds ago is annoying. Because we have to go do it again. And yes, they did have to start us absolutely as far away as possible from the location that we could possibly be. So, I'm not going to make you watch all that, so I'm going to pause it here. And we're back. Alright. Now once you're here, what you want to do is run into the cave where we saw the dog. The dog is now gone and is replaced by the snow ghost. He'll chase us back outside. And what we have to do is the skiing minigame from before. Now in the show, the trap is a bit different in that more or less they pour cold water onto the snow ghost in an attempt to freeze him. This ends up backfiring and eventually everyone just gets buried in a huge avalanche. Excuse me. Here, he just basically chases us down these little pathways, and I'm taking a lot of damage, where he slowly catches up to us over time, and there's really not much you can do to get away from him except just not hit anything. Once you run the little skiing mission again, and you get here, that's it. End of the mission. Or the mystery. I'm a little curious how they're just skiing at full speed on flat land, but whatever. And even though we can still see Shaggy and Scooby's skis, apparently the snow ghost can't see anything. And it's Mr. Greenway. Now here is where we find out that he learned about the ancient temple from the book. In the show, there really isn't anything about this. They do mention hollowing out the logs in the sawmill to ship the treasures for the smuggling ring. But that's about as close as the comparisons come. And that will be about it for this episode.
Well, who's that?
And we get this little message from our overarching villain, I suppose, who mentions perhaps they would enjoy a long vacation. And with his laugh, we drive away. And that's it. Next time, I hope you'll join me for Tiki Scare is No Fair. See y'all then.